Hi, everyone. Just before we get started, I'm just going to wait for some more people to get in. We were having some trouble with the links earlier today, so I just want to make sure we get as many people in as possible before I start the presentation. So just stick around and we'll get started soon. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this presentation. Let's do this thing. Okay, so to start off, hi, I'm Caitlin Carpets. I'm a program coordinator student advisor at the University of Calgary in the Faculty of Science. Behind the scenes here today, we have the wonderful Sarah Ha, who is also a program coordinator student advisor. So she'll be in the chat answering your questions if you have them, and I'll be doing our presentation. So before we get started, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. That's where I am right now, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. So we're very thankful to be on this land, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Let's have a chat. Okay. So before we begin, I do want to make sure I make a couple things known. I'm going to do a little bit of a preamble to get you into the topic. Then we're going to talk about what program advisors do, and then we're going to get into the top 5 things, the meat of the presentation that I want you to know about, you might not know about being a science student or being in a science program. All right, let's get going. So to start off, let's look at the difference between supports in high school that you would have had and the supports here in the university, just to find out what's different. Okay, in high school, let's be clear, your high school is a lot smaller than a university. If you have this many students in your high school, that would be shocking. So when you're in high school, you know where to go. You've got your principal and vice principal. You know where their office is. You've got your instructors, your teachers, and then you've got all the support staff. And that could be the people at the front desk in the office. It could be your counselors. And that's all I'm thinking of right now. But essentially, your people there are easily accessible. There are so many students at the University of Calgary that this is what the structure looks like here. And this is only a portion of it. Take a quick look. Okay, so everything in the yellow lines on the left-hand side here, that's all just the Faculty of Science supports that I showed. But where it says many other services, I'm not kidding. There are so many other services. A lot of them are here today. So student accessibility services, the Wellness Center, leadership and student engagement, international student services. There are enough students here that need direct support that everyone becomes highly specialized. So today we're going to talk about the team and the information I can offer you as a program coordinator student advisor, because we are highly specialized and just for you. So what is program advising? This is so well said. Thank you, paper that wrote it. The fact of the matter is, when you come to university, you're actually following a bunch of rules and regulations that sit over here. Yes, you can access them, but they're kind of confusing and there's a lot of them. So we as program advisors know the rules, we know the regulations, and then our job is to express them to you in terms you'll understand. That's our main job. So what might you come to us to talk about? So as you can see here, we do a lot of talking about your degree program. And like I said, that's because those rules and regulations exist and they're intense, but we understand them. So you come to us. And I like this. We just explain things you don't understand all the time, all the time. Okay, so during your actual degree, here's when you'll come and see us as program advisors. So you might come about change of program. I'm sure I'll answer some questions about that today. Now, changing programs can look like a couple different things. So you might change your program because you want to add something. I started in the Bachelor of Music, but I missed acting so much, I added a BFA, an entire other degree, to my first one. Or you may look at all the options courses, we'll talk about that later, all the options courses in your degree and say, I'm pretty sure I could build a minor in there. And you might utilize that and change your program to add it. Or you might completely change your program because you start courses and go, nope, this isn't for me. Incorrect, made a choice at 17 or 18 and I don't like that choice anymore. Valid. So come to us and talk to us about that process. We also support course registration. So let's say you need permission to get into a class. If you look at the prereqs, so every course at the university, you can actually look up and just see what prereqs you need, kind of like you need grade 11 chemistry to get into grade 12 chemistry, prerequisite. So you'll come and talk to us if you need department permission, or if you can't get into a course but you're not sure why, or if you're just struggling in some way, then you'll come and talk to us. We're really good at putting out fires. Speaking of fires, you'll come and talk to us if you're feeling stressed. Life will happen. It always does, right? Life keeps going on. And you might start your classes with the absolute best of intentions to do very well. And then all of a sudden, somebody in your family might lose their job and you may need to support your family. Okay, well, what now? Or somebody gets sick. Or you realize you have ADHD and you didn't know it. And something's going off. Come and talk to us. We might make some recommendations about withdrawals. We can talk to you about how it's okay if you take fewer courses in the future. We can help you feel comfortable supporting yourself. And you know what? Sometimes, I'm not even going to lie, we do this. Sometimes we look at students and say, maybe take a break. Maybe right now school isn't the most important thing in your life. So come to us when you're stressed, okay? We don't have all the answers, but we're a really great place to start. You'll come to us when you're ready to learn about internship. We have a robust internship program. We work with a career center in the Faculty of Science with specific career advisors, not career advisors, but internship advisors. And yeah, you can start that process with us, see if you want to do an internship. Now, you have a certain number of courses in your degree. We'll talk about what those are. And you collect courses over the course of your degree, while you're going to school. And then at some point, you're going to look at us and go, what do I have left? Now, is there a place where you can check this yourself? Of course there is. We built that in. Yes, it's called academic requirements. But sometimes if you add a minor and another minor and an embedded certificate and it can get complex. And then you might go, I have no idea if I'm done or not. I don't know. You come to us and we can tell you because we like doing that. And the reason we're good at it is because at the end of the day, we graduate you. We check mark all of those courses and press the button in the system to send you on your way. Something to be aware of actually is that the moment when we're graduating students is actually the moment when first year students are registering. So I just want you to know that although we do support registration, first year students do a lot of their registration through the online supports because it's not that challenging to register as a first year. And there's also the new student registration assistance team to support you. Okay, so we do a lot of that stuff, but what don't we do? What can't we do? We don't know so many things. Friends, I wish I was all-knowing. I am not. So there are certain things you're going to come to us and we will say, yeah, that's a no. Well, I have no idea. And it's not that we're not wanting to support you. We just don't want to provide you with misinformation. So if you come to me and say, hey, I've got this form because I have an award and I need it signed by the university, I'll be like, okay, cool. Enrollment services. I'll usually know where you need to go on campus, but it's not always going to be me. I don't have the stamp you need. The other big thing I want you to know that we don't know a lot about is professional programs, pharmacy, dentistry, medicine. We know undergraduate science degrees. But if you ask me, what degree does med school want? I don't know. I'm not med school. I'm not any of them. I don't know what they want. You got to go talk to them. And then once you collect information from them, you can come back and we can help kind of see how that fits into your degree program. But we should never be your first stop when it comes to professional degrees. Okay, next year when you're here, who will be your program advising team? This is what we look like. This is just like this. And there will actually be one more person by next year. And the reason I wanted to show you who this team is that we're all different. And not one of us is, like, one of us will be a good fit for you or multiple of us will be a good fit for you, but not everyone will be the right fit for you as an advisor. So, you know, if you like a straight shooter who's very blunt, you'll come and see me and I'm your person. But if you want somebody who's a bit more soft with their touch, you'll go see Sarah, who's lovely. So what I want you to know is when you start to see advising, if at first you don't jive with the advisor you talk to, I want you to try again because you might find somebody else that suits you, okay? The worst thing would be you to be in trouble but not feel comfortable coming to talk to us. Don't want that. Okay, now on to the meat. Here are the top 5 things you may not know about a science degree or coming into a science degree. Number 1, there are 40 courses in a degree. Did you know that? You know how we say it takes 4 years to get a degree? But why? It's because there are 40 courses. I'll explain in a bit why that is specifically. So 40 courses, there they are. There's 40 courses and we've got them in the different colors because I want to talk to you about what these 4 different sections of your 40 courses will be like. Let's start off with these ones. Okay, these courses could be anywhere from 16 to 20 will be your field of major, your major field courses. So if you choose computer science, for instance, well, those courses are going to be literally courses labeled Comp Sci or Send software engineering. That's it. So in a Comp Sci degree, 18 of your 40 courses are literally labeled Comp Sci or Send. That's the focus in. But you'll notice it's not your whole degree, but it's a chunk. Next, these courses. Let's call these the complementary courses. So these are mandatory courses in your degree that are not part of your major field. Let's use biological sciences, for instance. Biological sciences students, their major field is comprised of like plant biology, zoology, ecology, biochemistry. They've got lots of options over there in their field of major. But every biological sciences student takes a minimum of 3 chemistry courses, 2 math courses, and then 2 geology, physics, or comp sci. So there are 7 courses, at least, you could have an 8th, but 7 that are in the degree, mandatory, but not part of your major field. So that's that section. These courses are normally going to be in the Faculty of Science as well, by the way. They're not always, but like a chunk of them will be. And some degrees, by the way, don't have a ton of these. Others, like biology, have a lot. Now let's go on to these 6. These are an important 6. So we're getting into the option courses, but these option courses are very specific. They are part of what is called breadth. as a Faculty of Science student, you are not allowed to only take science classes your entire degree. Part of the reason for this is that the point of university when it was invented was to make you a better person. So we want you to be well-rounded, and that has been retained as years have gone on. So that means for 6 of your courses minimum, they can't be in the Faculty of Science. And they can't also be secret science courses. So a secret science course, there's an entire table full of them, by the way. Like when you're here, you can figure that out like on the table. But a secret science course may be like, I don't know, anatomy and physiology and kinesiology. That's a science course. Or anthropology, primatology. If I'm studying monkeys, that's science. So it can't be from the Faculty of Science, but it also can't be a secret science course. They have to be non-science courses. 2 of them must be from the Faculty of Arts. Okay, so expect that. Sometimes that surprises people. I don't want it to surprise you. Last but not least, we have the courses that can be anything you want. We call these open options. Generally speaking, we can add the breadth of 6 plus all of your options together, and we can call those all options. And some of those options can't be science. Some of them can be science, but just can't be your major field. And then some of them can be anything you want. So this degree that I've put up here, by the way, isn't a real degree. I don't think this actually matches any specific program, but your degree program can be broken down like this. I didn't provide a bunch of examples today, but essentially I want you to think of a degree like that, because I think we feel like we're walking into a black hole, but it's not. You are collecting 40 courses. Okay, number 2, you can only take up to 16 junior courses. What does that mean? Well, at the University of Calgary, you have courses that are at the 200, 300, 400, and 500 level. At the undergrad level, like when you're not in a master's degree, courses that are 200 to 299 are known as junior courses. If you go 300 and up, senior courses. Junior courses are introductory courses. Intro to Chem, Intro to Bio, Intro to Anth, Intro to Soci, Intro. Introductory courses that are general, that may be a little bit simpler, a little bit easier, like a little bit. So we don't let you do them the whole degree, because then you wouldn't be getting challenged and advancing forward in your knowledge. Once you get to 500s, everything just focuses in. So I'll give you an example from my degree. It's just the easiest for me to do. I hope that's okay. But in first year, I took Intro to Theater History. Whoa, that's big. That's thousands of years. By the time I got to the 500 level, I was taking Canadian plays by Canadian playwrights written between 1960 and 2000. Really focused in. So that's how I want you to think of this. So we limit the number of juniors you can do to 16. You can only do up to 16 of your 40 courses at the 200 level. If you go over that, we can't use them anymore. So I want you to look at these beakers and think of it this way. We just don't want you going over 16. Do you have to do 16? No. But we don't want you doing more than 16. And I see students not realize this, and it hurts my soul. But yeah, just be aware of it, okay? Number 3, 5 courses per term is not mandatory. This is important. So when we talk about just a general degree, getting a degree, we think 4 years. And the reason it takes 4 years is if you were to do 5 courses each fall and winter for 4 years. You would get 40 courses and graduate. I mean, if you took the right courses. But honestly, this doesn't work for everyone. It genuinely doesn't. And so know that you won't be forced into this structure. For some of you, it will be okay, but I want you to know that many people don't subscribe to this because of some other reason. So a student who maybe has a part-time job throughout their degree. 5 courses is a full-time job. Having a part-time job when you already have a full-time job is hard. It's stressful. So they might take 4 courses per term so that they can fit in their part-time job. So they'll just extend their degree by 1 year. Or a student who just doesn't like taking 5 courses per term might take 4 in fall and winter and then sneak in their options during spring and summer terms, because we do still offer courses in spring and summer. There will also be students, maybe amongst you, who go to student accessibility services and realize that based on their specific needs can only take 2 or 3 courses per term, and that is valid and okay. What my team does is we can help you understand which courses are the most important. What do you have to take during fall and winter because it's not offered in spring, summer? That's what we know. So you can just come and talk to us if you need our support on that, okay? Number 4, a W is better than an F and academic review. Isn't that just a bunch of jargon you don't understand? Let's talk about it. This is our grading scale at the U of C. And yeah, it's different than other universities and other schools because I don't know why, it's very confusing. I wish it was all the same. But at U of C, we work on a 4-point scale and letter grades. So to get to why a W is better than an F, I want to talk about a couple other things first. When you're here to move on in courses, you need to have a prerequisite. So biology 241 and 243 are the prerequisite for biology 311. You need a minimum on these two of C-. Each of them has to at least be a C- to get into biology 311. If one of these ends up being an F, D, or D+, you can't do this yet. You have to retake that course. So prerequisites are important, and getting a C- or better is important on individual prerequisites. However, you'll see that a C- is in the orange because, and we want you in the green. To maintain a seat in a degree program at the U of C, we do an academic review. We basically go and look at a certain set of your grades each year and check to see if you have a minimum 2.0 GPA. So when you've heard the term C's get degrees, this is why. Because we are reviewing to make sure you have at least a C average to continue on. Because if you don't, you might get in trouble. So on that note, here's why a W is fantastic. 1, a W means withdrawal. And withdrawals are when you drop a course. You're like, I started the course, I'm a month and a half in, it's not going well, and I don't like it, and I'm going to drop it now. I'll still pay for it because I'm past the deadline for that, but I'm dropping it now. Okay, a W will appear on your transcript. I love W's. You can only have a max of 10 of them, like anytime you've ever take courses at U of C forever, just 10. But I skip over W's when I do an academic review. They're nothing. It's great. They don't do anything bad. So if you're heading towards an F, even a D or D+, consider, depending on your circumstance, how the rest of your courses are going. If you're going to get an F, I would prefer you get a W every single day of the week, okay? So if things aren't going well in your class, I want you to come talk to a faculty advisor and maybe consider a W. Stay in the green. 5, last but not least, IB and AP credit. I know this won't apply to all of you, but it is important enough that I really want to go through it. So students who do AB and AP and IB in high school will end up taking course equivalents to certain university classes. And so you might be in biology, but have taken biology 241. Well, then you don't have to take it again. You've already done it. You can take it again. You don't have to, though. So these courses that you do for AP, if you do the exam and get the 4 or 5, might become part of your your science specific requirements, or your breadth. If you get like an English 2XX credit, 2XX is just general junior credit. We can apply it right to your degree and you don't have as many of the 40 to complete. Now, if you're doing an IB certificate, you'll get even more credit. You'll get up to 10. So that's going to take off 10 of your courses potentially. Here's the thing to keep in mind. AP and IB credit comes in as 200 level credit, which means, say it with me now, it's junior, and you have a junior limit. So if you or any of your friends are taking an IB diploma, once you or they have registered for fall term next year, tell them to come talk to us in the summer months, July and August, and we can help make sure that they're not going to go over their junior limit too soon. By the way, if you're not in a IB diploma, there is no way you're going to get over your junior limit in your first year unless you're coming in as a transfer student with tons of junior courses. Again, you're probably already going to talk to us. So students who are not doing AP IB, I don't want you to worry about the junior limit for your first year at all. AP, you don't really need to worry about it. IB, not worry, but talk to us. Okay. So these are the top 5 things you might not have known, and hopefully you know a bit more now. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to do questions. We have left an entire 30 minutes just to answer your questions. So Sarah's going to start sending them my way, and I will verbally answer any questions you send. Please keep them coming. All I want to do is answer your questions, and then at some point I'll say thank you and goodbye. Now, I'll say it preemptively. If some of you end up leaving as questions are being answered, thank you for being here today. I really hope some of this was helpful, but let's get started on those questions, see if we can get you some more information. So to start, oh yeah, this presentation will be available for future reference. That's the question. Will it be available? Yes, actually this presentation right now is being recorded. The one I did this morning is being recorded, and one of them, whichever one is better, will be posted so you can watch it later on. So yes, and the recruitment team, we're sending it to them so you'll be able to access it again. It's not going to be emailed to the participants, but you'll be able to access it through the recruitment team. And I apologize, but I don't know exactly how you access it right now. I know it's going to be posted though, probably on our webpage. That's a fantastic question. Where can we find the advisors on campus? Great question. You don't really know campus yet, but we're in the buildings that are associated with science. Shocker. We are specifically in Science B149. Right now, due to COVID, I'm at home. There's a dog snoring underneath me. But when things are back to more normal, that's where we exist, where we work. We don't live there. Okay, so I guess somebody has asked about more information about IB and AP and getting credit for that. So to get credit for AP, you have to take the actual college board exams for the AP courses. And if you get a 4 or 5, you will get specific credit. Actually, to find that, you can just Google UCalgary AP credit, and it'll pull up a list of what the courses can transfer as. Once you've done the exam, you get the college board to directly send the transcript over to the admissions team, and they will automatically post that credit for you. IB, same thing. You do all of your IB coursework, but then you need to have the official IB board send your transcript to the admissions team. If you need more specific information on how that all works, I would talk to the admissions team directly because they can walk you through how the process works. How can we get into research while doing a science degree? Great question. So research, and for those those people who don't know what research looks like at the undergraduate level, let me just quickly tell you. So when we think of research, you as the student talk to an instructor. So in high school, you call them teachers, but we call them instructors or professors. You're going to talk to an instructor or professor, same people, and go, hey, I'd like to work with you, and I want to research this topic, and you know about that topic. Would you be willing to supervise me? Watch me while I do research. Make sure, guide me through doing research. And they will say yes or no. And if they say yes, which a lot do, then you will, we'll put you in a course. You'll come to us to put you in a course. Then you will, and it'll be one of your 40 courses. It might even be 2 of them, depending on how long your research project is. And then you talk to them and you sort out what you want to research. So I'm not a science student. I wasn't a science student before, but I went to my instructor and I got supervised by a music history professor, and I did a thesis on music in film in the 1920s. Yours might be on something that you today have never heard of yet, something so hyper specific, but something you end up feeling really cool, like is interesting, and you might work in a lab, you might not, depending, but you're going to dig into a topic. So you can fit in research, usually in your 3rd or 4th year, by taking courses that are specifically for research. But to start, you have to find a supervisor. So in your first couple of years, just look around you and see who you're interested in as instructors, what they're studying, what you like, and then it'll all kind of come together. Usually in your 3rd year, you'll start to think about it for your 4th year. Are there restrictions about when each course is provided? For example, if I wanted to take a music course as an option, are there specific times I can take it? Okay. So restrictions on courses, you can take any course you have the prerequisite for. But you won't have the prerequisites for every course. I can guarantee that. For instance, there will be certain courses in music, in nursing, in engineering, in lots of places where the prerequisite is admission. You must be admitted into engineering to take engineering courses. So if you have the prereq, and there are music courses, for instance, in this case, that have that are open to students who aren't in music, then you can absolutely take them as an option. And all you have to worry about is, do they fit in your schedule? Science courses just happen. They aren't like they're only happening right now for art students and then they happen for science students. No, they just happen and you just put them in your schedule whenever you can. So I guess the answer is, are there restrictions about when each course is provided? No, there are no restrictions, but I would say some courses are only offered in fall and winter terms. They're not offered in spring and summer. Geology, there are some geology courses like that, for instance. But many first-year courses are offered at least twice in the year, whereas courses at the higher levels are only offered once a year. So you'll get to know when things are happening, and that'll guide which courses you enroll in. I hope that answered that. Okay. Next question. Oh, my screen's being funny over here. Let me just fix that. If I am undecided on a major, but know I am interested in the Faculty of Science, how do I start? Great question. I think you should talk to the exploratory advising team for sure. Here's the reason. Faculty of Science, you may be interested in sciences, but you may also be interested in sciences like engineering and biomedical science, which are not part of the Faculty of Science. We deal with the pure sciences. So what I would like you to do is talk to an exploratory advisor if you don't know. Whittle down of the sciences which of them you're most inclined towards already. Then you can make a really specific choice when it comes to applying. I'd rather you not apply. I'd rather you apply into a program you are pretty sure it's one of these 2 or 3 and apply into 2 of those and get access to registration to actually test out the courses to then figure out what you like for sure, rather than coming into a program natural sciences where you might not get the best registration opportunities. So whittle down all of the sciences to two if you can, and then apply into them as a double major is my recommendation. Apply into them together if you can, if they're programs that go together. You can talk to your recruitment about that. And then you'll have really good registration access to take courses to actually test out what you want. Then you'll apply for a change of program and then change into, drop one of them or change completely. But to start off with, I just want you in a good position to test because, you don't have enough information right now. What is the maximum amount of courses you can take per semester? 6 in fall and winter. In spring and summer, the max is 3. By the way, taking 3 courses in spring or summer is bonkers. I wouldn't do it. Taking 6 in fall, winter, you have to be a person. There are usually people through student accessibility services who are running on the genius level scale and need, if they don't take 6 or potentially more, they'll not function properly. They won't operate as well. Most students, 6 is way too many, and I would never recommend it for majority of people. But that is the max. If I do an honors degree, do I have to take more courses? An honors degree is still 40 courses, but the 40 courses change a little bit. You'll have more in your major field than you did before. You must do a research course in that degree. So you'll just have more in your major field and probably less options. That's the difference. But nope, still just 40. Really good questions, everyone, just by the way. And keep them coming. When should I start looking into internship? You should start looking into internship in your second year. You should start going to the first year is kind of for information gathering. So first into second year, I want you to look into the workshops or the webinars, or they're going to be in person maybe in the future for internship, and it'll go through the whole process with you. Normally, students will get into the program after their second year. That's most often, and do things in their third or fourth year. You can still get into it in your third year as well, though. So think collecting information first and second year, applying in either second year or third year. Are classes being done at home? Some are, some aren't for fall 2021. We allowed instructors to make the decision, university-wide. Instructors were allowed to make the decision whether or not they felt comfortable teaching in person. We are at about 70%. Well, we were, I don't know if anything has shifted because of, Alberta regulations, but we started the term with as many in person as we could, especially those that really needed to be in person, like labs. Labs are great in person. It is my hope that by the time you start school, this will all be done. We are an in-person university, and we usually, prior to the pandemic, had very, very few courses online, like a handful. So this is just a COVID thing. Okay. U of A sent me a list of eligible courses to do for pre-pharmacy. I've been told that my selected major does not encompass all of the required courses. Who should I talk to regarding this? Me. Use your options to do the ones that aren't part of your major. No degree encompasses all of the prerequisites, so what you'll do is just fit the prerequisites into the other parts of your degree, like the breadth or the open options. That's where you'll fit them in. And it will be challenging, specifically because, especially if you have to take some psychology or anatomy and physiology, they're very popular courses. So you might end up taking them in spring, summer because it's a little bit easier to get in them then. But yeah, in terms of how they'll build into your degree, they'll be part of your breadth and your options. So don't worry if they don't, if one degree doesn't have them all. Just know it's going to be a bit of a challenge, and you'll figure it out. But yeah, you can talk to us if you need more information. Can we get a part-time job on campus? Yeah, absolutely. Lots of people do. Do I know how it works? No, I don't. I don't know if you applied directly. Ooh, career services. Talk to career services, because you know what I bet? I bet they have all the listings on CareerLink. So 1000%, lots of students do. And yeah, talk to career services about how to do that. I wanted to know more about the neuroscience program. What does it mean that it's honors only? Is it more research-based? Okay, honors only. You must take research courses or you can't graduate. That is what honors means. Honors only means you cannot take this degree without doing research. A student in biochemistry can choose to either do honors or not honors. Again, difference is more courses in the field of major and research. No research, fewer courses in the field of major. Neuroscience is only this. Biochemistry, CMMB, any of the bios have both. From high school, you can only apply to this, but later on, you could drop down to just this. So for neuro, you must do honors. It is definitely part of the degree. Absolutely. So you do like, students in neuro tend to like love research. Yeah, you might do multiple research projects. And then if you're into biomedical science, it's all research all the time. That's a whole degree. Okay. Can you chat about the science internship program? Right. So when we talk about co-op versus internship, I want you to think about just a difference in when you work and how long you work for. Co-op is generally school, work, school, work, school, work. That's like the norm when you think of co-op. Internship, you may do longer periods of time. So your internship can be a minimum. You could do 2 4-month chunks. You can spread it out, but you could also do 8 months of work in total, or 12 months in total, paid, by the way. Internships are always paid. And that'll just be like year 1, year 2, year 3, internship year, year 4. So I love internships in comparison to co-op for one specific reason. The longer that you work, the more trust the company will have in you, your superiors will have in you, the more you will get to do. Any of your parents will know this, but basically when you start off and are being trained, you can't be given a lot because you could mess up. So it is really great to do those longer hauls. You're getting paid the whole time. It's work experience. It goes on your resume. But internship, we do that. So yeah. And by the way, internship, the program is that you apply into the program, then you have access to jobs that are only for U of C students. Anyone who's not in the internship program will not have access to U of C internship student jobs. That's the difference. Difference between minor and major, and what is the difference between double major versus combined degree? Excellent question. Oh, I wish I had the slide to show you. Okay, I will try. I'm gonna like probably bring out something to draw on. Okay, so, yep, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring something out to draw on. Let's see if I can show you. Okay, we know that a major is going to be those courses from your field of major. So 16 to 20 courses. And then a minor is 10 courses. Oh, can you see that? So that's the difference between a minor and a major. A major is courses from your field of major only. If I choose bio, it's going to be biology type courses. Then a minor is 10 courses in another field, like sociology. Take 10 courses in sociology. That's a sociology minor. And you'll use those 10 sociology courses to fulfill, to check mark breadth, 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 breadth open, 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 open options. So that's how you'll check mark. So that's the difference. Majors always a lot more courses, and minors always 10 to a max of 12. Difference between a double major and a combined degree. A number of courses you take. One degree is 40 courses. A combined degree is 50 courses. This is actually such a challenging question to explain. So let me try again. That's the major thing, 40 versus 50. A double major is still 40. But the thing is, you can only do a double major if both programs are a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor of Arts. 2 BAs, 2 BScs, they can be a double major. Because the idea being there's enough overlap between them that you can do it in 40 courses. A combined degree, the one that's 50 courses, this would be like if you do Bachelor of Commerce and Actuarial Science. You have 50 courses to do instead of 40. You could not do a double major in ACSI and BCom. That would not be allowed because one of them is BCom and one of them is BSc. So think 50 versus 40. There will be students who do a combined degree in 2 BScs. And that's just a choice you can make. Yeah. I will say, end of day, 2 pieces of parchment. End of the day, 1 piece of parchment. 2, 1, 50, 40. So honors. You absolutely don't need to get into honors right now. Yeah, like you don't. There is the one thing, like if you don't get right into, biochemistry honors out of high school, that's fine. It's not going to affect your first 2 years at all, other than you'll just have to maintain some good grades. Then you'll apply for a change of program to add biochemistry on down the road. You can always change into honors later. Students sometimes fall into honors. They just realize, oh man, I just love to take more courses in my field and I think I would like to research. Should I do honors? Yeah. And then they do a change of program and add it, but no pressure. It's going to just don't even worry about it right now. If you can get into honors and you know you want that, great, do it up. Or if it's neuro, you have to. But everyone else, it's all good. If you're like, I don't have the grades to get into CMMB honors right now. Okay, but do you have the grades to get into bio? Yes, good. Get into bio. Biological sciences. That's cool. How can a student do 2 honors programs? Just by applying for them. Really, it's that you've got these courses you must complete for the program 1, these courses you have to complete for program 2, and we put them together. So if you do honors on this side and honors on this side, we'll put them together. And if we add those courses up, it's over 40, we're going to recommend you do a combined degree. If not, you can still do a double major technically. But yeah, you can do honors in both of your programs. You just apply for a change of program to do it. These have been fantastic questions. I'm really impressed. If I do research in the summer, will it still count towards an honors degree? Well, that depends on if you sign up for the research course prior to doing the research. So if you just research, for fun, and then come back and you're like, can I use this towards my degree? We'll be like, no, probably, maybe, probably not. Whereas if you find a supervisor, one of your instructors, and they supervise you doing research over the summer, then absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, lots of students do that. It's a total thing. So yes. The big honors projects usually happen between fall and winter because then you have 8 months to do it versus like 2 or 4. So generally, the big ones will happen over fall, winter. So just going to put out one final ask. We've still got some time left. There's still 30 of you. And if anyone has any questions they still want to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. Or if there are questions you just want to ask in the chat, and you don't want it publicized in any way, then feel free to message those questions and we can answer them privately. Just wait one more minute. Okay, I think we got another one coming. Does computer science have a co-op program? It has an internship program. Almost all programs at the universe in the Faculty of Science have an internship program, and it is different than a co-op program. The only one that doesn't, Sarah, you can chip in if there's more. The only one that doesn't is neuroscience. How do you apply for a double or combined degree? You can apply right out of high school, and if not, talk to admissions team about the actual nitty gritty of it. But you can apply right out of high school for double or combined. You just basically add 2 programs to your first choice instead of 1. So that's actually genuinely, literally how it works. You just add a second program to your choice. But if you get in and then want to add one, you'll do a change of program to add. And I'm of the mind that especially if you're still considering different things, do that. Do a combined or a double and then drop one later if you're not sure, because at least you'll have the registration access in the meantime. And registration access is a big deal. Okay, I'm going to potentially turn my camera off and I'll answer some questions in the chat, but I just want to thank you all for being here with us today. Genuinely been a pleasure. Thank you for all your wonderful questions, and I hope we get to see you next year. But no matter what, good luck with your next academic pursuit. Bye.